All right, stand by.
This is Talkin Hoopz, the show that discusses real NBA stories, gives you all the latest rumors, and gets you into heated debates.
It's dunks and layups. How many of his points have been jump shots? 0.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
0.
It's not happening. Not in this NBA. Maybe in the fantasy NBA that they're playing in, but not in this NBA.
We're going to challenge each other in practice.
We talking about practice, not a game.
Once the game starts, I mean, it's going to be easy.
You better get off whatever you're smoking.
Strap in, get your popcorn, put your headphones on.
This is Talkin Hoopz.
It's really good to checking out Talkin Hoopz. Talkin Hoopz.
Talkin Hoopz, the official talk show of NBRPA Miami.
Talkin Hoopz starts right now.
Talkin Hoopz. TalkinHoops.com. AJ, Kyle with you for the show. NBRPA Miami chapter. NBRPAMiami.com. Check them out. Opening night here. Lot to talk about. Mavericks, Spurs, Lakers, Rockets, and of course the Orlando Magic and New Orleans Pelicans will be playing on NBA League Pass, or I guess if they're in your area, but national TV tonight. Big night for the NBA. It's back. We'll talk some Lakers, the Knicks, looking to pursue Marc Gasol in free agency. That was sort of expected, though. We've said that a couple of times. And much more, I guess. But what's up, Kyle? What's going on?
Happy birthday. That's what's going on to you, my friend.
Yeah, all right. Cat's out of the bag. It's my birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it a secret?
I don't like to make it too public. I like to keep a low profile in that regard.
Oh, because there's a million people around the world that are heavily invested in you when your birthday is, right?
I'm just saying, got a lot of love on Instagram, so I just like to keep a low profile with this kind of stuff. That's all.
Oh,
I'm saying.
jeez. Is your Instagram profile private?
No, it's not.
All right.
It's not
you
actually.
can't keep it, so then what the hell? Then that doesn't make any sense.
Listen, I'll tell you what it is. We do the show a lot. Usually, I'm the one asking how everybody's doing. No one really asks how I'm doing, so I don't like to bring up my life. It's cool. It's cool. But I appreciate you giving me the shout out. It's nice. It was a good birthday. Got a John Wall T-shirt. He's my favorite point guard this season. So hopefully we can get him on the show or something. That'd be great.
So it changes from season to season, your favorite point guard?
You see guys I never really got to see John Wall in a full season. He was always injured or something. There was always something going on, and I liked the way he played last season. The Wizards did really well, and he got me to like that team. The Wizards were always my second favorite team behind the Knicks, so I got to show some love, man. I like John Wall. I like where he's headed. He's definitely got a lot of potential. We talk about all the time him and Bradley Beal could one day be the best backcourt in the NBA, so I'm showing my love for the Wizards, and that doesn't mean I'm hating on my Knicks or anything like that, but if I wasn't a Knicks fan, I would definitely be a Wizards fan. I used to watch Michael Jordan play at the MCI Center, so yeah, I'm happy to see them playing well. It's a good story, too. They're a good organization. Good organization.
Yeah, well, they lose Trevor Ariza, who was arguably maybe their second best player on the team last year.
Yeah.
So can Paul Pierce replace what Ariza left behind? Because now Ariza is back in Houston.
Right.
So it's going to be a big story going forward. And Bradley Beal's health, he's already starting the season hurt. Nene is always hurt, it seems like, every season. So if that team can stay healthy and Paul Pierce can give them somewhere between 28 to 30 minutes, I think that may be a lot. Maybe 25 to 30 minutes. We'll see. But that's what their success is going to be on, the health of their players, because a lot of them are in question, and Paul Pierce's replacement for Ariza.
Paul Pierce already was suspended already for the first game of the season, regardless, or whenever he
Right.
comes back.
For that scuffle in preseason, right?
Yeah, little argument going on there between him and Joakim Noah. But actually, wait, while I just brought up Joakim Noah, I think we had the article up on TalkinHoops.com, but I thought it was interesting that he had the off-season surgery, and he's saying he's not 100%, that he's got a ways to go to get back. There were reports that his camp was saying that his I think it was his knee is going to be a problem all season, or his ankle. I think it was his ankle, actually. But guys that I did a fantasy league with, they were very high on taking him right away, and I don't know if he's going to be the same player next to Pau Gasol. I think they now have another piece down there to grab a couple of rebounds. Look, Pau Gasol is not the best defender, but he can grab rebounds. So, I don't know if Noah's gonna, and with his health and everything and what he's talking about, I don't know if he's gonna be the same player this season. What do you think?
I think it's nonsense, to be honest. Joakim Noah has been one that's always been very joking with the media. He's never really... If his knee was really hurting him, I doubt he would let the media in on it, is what I'm trying to get at. I don't think if it was something serious, Noah would be discussing it. And, yeah, maybe his knee will be a bit of an issue to monitor during the beginning of the season.
Right.
But I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to average between 32 and 37 minutes a game. They're going to ride him hard. People that say that Derrick Rose coming back is going to take away from Noah, I think is nonsense.
Right.
Because the Bulls are a team basketball. Derrick Rose is obviously not the Derrick Rose that we saw him in the playoffs, 4 years ago.
He
suffered
hasn't looked bad,
multiple
though. He hasn't looked
injuries.
terrible. He hasn't looked that bad. He looks
No,
better.
it's not that he's not that bad, but we're talking about a guy who was MVP of the league.
Right.
So I don't think he's going to be MVP of the league anymore, Derrick Rose. He could be very good.
No.
He could be really good. He could be somewhat good.
Right.
He's not going to be MVP. So
No,
it doesn't matter, right?
You know what? I'm looking at it like this, though. Is last season he comes back, plays 10 games. He didn't look himself in those 10 games at all. There was no explosiveness. He was afraid to go to the basket, and he re-injured himself. His shot was off in the summer during the USA exhibition games and all that, but coming into the preseason, he's had some impressive games where he's looked more like his old self than what we've seen the last 2 seasons. So, I got to think he's gonna be an asset regardless. But at the same time, I think there's a stat that says they've played better without Derrick Rose.
No, I can't. And I think you're probably getting at advanced statistics like sabermetrics and stuff like that. Numbers that go beyond the court that have that, factor in this and that and
Right.
this and that. Look, I don't need to look at stats to know that a team is going to be better with Derrick Rose on the court. You can't sit there and tell me that Kirk Heinrich and the Bulls are going to be a better team than Derrick Rose and the Bulls. I can't sit here and tell you that just
Right.
because some nonsense numbers support it, okay?
Well, I think
Numbers never lie in math. Look, numbers never lie in math.
right.
They have no business factoring into sports, okay?
No, agreed. But I think what I'm getting at is there's other guys on the team that get more touches if he's not playing. There's other guys on the team that are look at Taj Gibson's a perfect example. If it wasn't for Taj Gibson last season, the Bulls wouldn't even won a game against the Wizards. He had such a strong performance, and that's a guy now that goes back to being on the bench.
But not because of Derrick Rose.
No, but I'm saying other guys like that, like Jimmy Butler's going to get the ball more if Derrick Rose isn't playing. Other guys are going to get more touches, and the team could benefit from that. And that's where those statistics, I know you're not a big fan of the statistics, but I'm saying that's probably where they come from. That's what they're looking at.
Okay, fine. Other people are going to get more touches, but here's how I look at it. If Derrick Rose is out, I look at it as Derrick Rose is going to make everybody better. Okay, so maybe Taj Gibson gets 3 less touches a game, and Joakim Noah gets 3 less touches a game because Derrick Rose takes an extra 6 shots than if Kirk Heinrich was going to take the shots. He's going to make them better because if he can play to some level that he was at, defenses are going to have to start game planning for Derrick Rose. Okay, how do we stop Derrick Rose? How do we slow him down? What do we need to do?
Right.
If Kirk Heinrich is out there, no offense to him, but you're not game planning the same way, and therefore you can say, all right, now let's focus on Joakim Noah, and now Joakim Noah is being watched by defenses. If you put Derrick Rose and Noah on the court, it's kind of like pick your poison. Who do we go? Who do we try to stop? And he makes game planning for the Bulls a lot harder. Okay, that's my whole thing. And for those who are concerned with the Joakim Noah's knee, on Friday he played 32 minutes and had 6 points, 17 rebounds, 9 assists. That's pretty good. 9 assists. I know it's preseason, 17 rebounds, but if you want to talk about a guy with knee injuries, then you also got to say about the preseason, I think he's going to be fine. The Bulls are going to be the only Eastern Conference team that I think can legitimately challenge the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, that I agree with. That I definitely agree with.
In a 7-game series. Yeah, sure. Maybe the Knicks will beat them on any given night, or maybe the Heat will beat them on any given night. A 7-game series, I can't see Washington, New York, Brooklyn, any team other than the Bulls. You know, if the Pacers didn't have Paul George get hurt and they were able to keep Lance Stevenson, obviously Indiana is there.
Right.
Now I don't even think Indiana makes the playoffs.
Right. Well, look at this, though. Look at what I read about Cleveland. The coach came out and said LeBron James is definitely going to be playing less minutes this season than he has in the past. Is LeBron James okay with this? This is a legacy player. Okay, the less minutes you're playing, the less production you're going to put out on the floor.
Listen, if LeBron doesn't want to come out, he's not coming out. There's no way that he's going to come out of a game when he still wants to be playing. Obviously, they'll monitor his minutes early on because you don't want him to wear down by the playoffs. But as soon as the second half of the season comes and the playoffs are here, he's going to play probably 38 minutes a night.
Right. All right. The way I see it is, especially if you're a fantasy owner, if the coach coming out saying LeBron's going to play less minutes, if everyone's expecting the Cavs to blow teams out, and comes the fourth quarter, they got like a 15, 20-point lead, I can't see LeBron James really going into the game because, like you said, why risk injury going into the playoffs, especially towards the end of the season? Why do it? You know, this is your best player. You're going to need him. You want to win a championship. That's the goal with that team. They got a lot of guys. Kyrie and Kevin Love, obviously, two of the best players in the league right now. They can get it done. If LeBron doesn't need to play, why play him? You know, maybe is he going to stay in? Is he going to stay in for his numbers? That's really the only reason he'd be staying in if they're up by 20, right? What's the point?
Yeah, but, you know, I look at it as this. He also needs to stay on the court for a long time because this is their first season together. So in order to get chemistry, you need to actually be out there together. Right. So if you're taking LeBron James out just to give him rest, it's not helping the team or LeBron. It's actually hurting them because we saw from the Heat, they didn't gel together right away. Right. They made the finals their first season, but they also lost. And you heard, you know, after that first season, a lot of the pressure was off of them. They were a lot more relaxed, a lot more comfortable. And then what happened? They won the next year. So you can't give him rest right away, and I don't think that they will. I look at the Cavs as a team that's not better than the Heat when LeBron was on the Heat.
Okay.
So it's not like I don't think. Yeah, there are going to be nights where they just totally embarrass other teams, but I don't think they're going to be the Miami Heat. Dwayne Wade.
Look at this big three.
Dwayne Wade in his prime is somebody that I take over Kevin Love in his prime, and Dwayne Wade 5 years ago was Dwayne Wade in his prime. You know, when LeBron went over there, you know, 4 or 5 years ago.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm on the same page as you. But look at the last couple of years, or I should say more than that, since like 2006, 2007. The big three with Garnett, Pierce, and Allen forms, and everyone's like freaking out. This is crazy. You could put 3 superstars like that. Then the Miami Heat happened. You got Wade, Bosh, and LeBron on the same team. That was crazy. People are like, that made the Celtics big three look like nothing. And now, what do you think? This is the best big three maybe of all time with Love, Kyrie, and LeBron?
Not of all time, because you're talking about the old Lakers teams. Right. You know, you're talking about the old Celtics teams in the 80s.
If Mark was here, he'll tell you now today's game compared to how he used to play, obviously much more physical. We talk about that all the time. I don't think there's a show that goes by where we don't relate back to how people used to play back in the 90s and whatnot. In the 80s, it was a much tougher form of basketball. Refs didn't really blow the whistle nearly as much. You could show emotion. There was a lot more going on the court regarding those guys. Now everything is just under. It's just like ridiculous where the NBA's brought everything. And David Stern, he did too much, I think, in that regard of just not allowing players to show emotion, getting a technical foul now for what is it, the stupid ball thing? If you hit the ball back under the basket, I mean the game's
Yeah, if you touch the ball when it comes out of the basket,
right?
It's nonsense.
Right, but this big three compared to all those big threes, it's not as, I guess, physical of a game today as it was because of all those things. But is this the best big three we've seen in a long time? Is this, you know what I mean? Is this the team that's going to win multiple championships? This big three together.
Here's the only thing that leaves me in doubt for this team is I've never seen Kevin Love in a playoff game, and Kyrie Irving is still maybe not a rookie, but still super young. And somebody who has not had to deal with playoff pressure. So now you're going into a situation where LeBron knows how to deal with it now because LeBron did it for 4 years in Miami. He knows all the attention. He knows everything that comes with a big three and the pressure of being seen as the championship team. Kevin Love, Minnesota Timberwolves, have never been seen as even a playoff team. So he had to play with zero pressure his whole career. I don't know what it's going to be like when you're in a 7-game series with the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals,
right,
what Kevin Love looks like. And when he has to go against, for 7 games, guys like Joakim Noah and Taj Gibson in a 7-game series.
Right.
What is he built like? I don't know. I don't know what kind of player he's going to be. Dion Waiters, he's never had to deal with anything. Now, Don't forget about the role players.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Dion Waiters, he looked good in the preseason, though. I'll tell you that.
It's preseason 1, and 2, the role players we saw from Miami play a huge, huge part in winning a championship.
Right.
Okay, Ray Allen doesn't knock down that 3. They don't win a championship.
Right.
They don't beat the Spurs.
He's still not. He's still
that 3 in the corner.
Decide if he's playing or not.
Right. He's still undecided. But my point is that these guys, Mike Miller played a huge role for Miami. What was it, 3 years ago? I think it was when Mike Miller was still with the Heat in the finals. My point is that I don't know what Dion Waiters is going to look like in the finals. I don't know what Brendan Haywood and Anderson Varejao or Tristan Thompson.
Right.
Tristan Thompson is going to be counted on a lot, I'm sure.
Finals. Varejao.
It's too much.
Varejao's been to the finals before.
Varejao has been to the finals. But I just don't know. The whole team, to me, I want to see the chemistry. I want to see how they perform in a high-pressure situation.
Right.
If everybody's just going to defer to LeBron. Because think about it. Everybody in Cleveland deferred to Kyrie before LeBron. Everybody in Minnesota deferred to Kevin Love. Is Kevin Love going to be deferring to LeBron James in the final seconds, or is he going to be the one to take the shot? There's so many questions. And Dwayne Wade even came out and said, look, I'm going to take a step back. He gave sort of the reins over to LeBron James. How is Kevin Love going to play? Is Kevin Love still going to want to get his 28 points, his 25 points a game, or is he going to be willing to take a stat reduction? Because we know Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade went along with it. I haven't heard Kevin Love say, listen, I'm okay with scoring 15 points a game, if that's what it takes to win.
Right.
So I have to see that also. There's still a lot of question marks. That's why I can't put Cleveland ahead of Chicago. I have Chicago as the number 1 team in the East until Cleveland proves it.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about opening night tonight, Dallas Mavericks, San Antonio Spurs. We can make predictions right now, but it's going to be next Tuesday we talk about it. So, I don't know if it's worth that. But I do like Dallas's team. I know you like Dallas's team. I know Strick doesn't like Dallas's team. I like the Mavs, and especially now if they somehow add J.J. Barea to the roster when that all gets situated with Minnesota. Has he been bought out yet? Has that happened? Are we like?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet either. So. But I know they're one of the teams that are definitely going to try and get him back on that squad. I mean, look, I like Dallas this season. I like the moves they made, and hey,
I like the moves they made too. I don't think they make the playoffs though.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I can count you out 8 teams right now, and you can tell me whose spot they're taking. OKC,
right?
San Antonio,
right?
Golden State,
right?
Houston.
You like Houston to make the playoffs?
Yeah.
See, if anything, I think Houston won't make the playoffs.
All right, so we'll leave Houston out. Okay, fine. So we've got OKC, San Antonio, and Golden State, right? The Clippers.
Right.
That's 4. Portland.
Yep.
5.
I like Portland.
Okay. Denver.
I guess, but I don't. Again, you're more high on Denver than I am. You're definitely.
All right, so look, so we got 5 locks, right?
Yeah.
Memphis.
I think that's
you like
gonna
them, Dallas?
You know what? I kind of like Dallas more than Memphis right now.
Really, Mike Conley, Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol.
I mean, look, Zach Randolph's another year in the league. I don't know what you're going to get from Zach Randolph. You said it 2 seasons ago when he was getting old, and then all of a sudden his numbers jump back up. But you don't know what Zach Randolph's going to show up this season. Obviously, Marc Gasol, if he's healthy, he's there. But other than Mike Conley, they got Courtney Lee, they got Vince Carter, and
Tony Allen.
Tony
Allen
Allen
is big because defensively he's going to be huge for them.
Yeah, no, but if they make the playoffs, like saying those guys, I mean, 8th seed. I mean, what are we talking here? I don't.
All right, so wait, you don't think that they're better than Dallas, right?
I think if I think no, you know what? I think Dallas is better than them. Yes.
All right, so we got 5 locks.
Yeah.
So that means there's 3 playoff spots, and these are the teams that are going to be competing for those 3 spots.
Right.
Denver.
Right.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Yeah. Oh, see, Phoenix I like. Phoenix
over Dallas?
Yeah, because I like Isaiah Thomas edition. I like Phoenix. I got to go with
so
Phoenix.
That's 6. So then you got 6 locks
Right.
now. So you only got 2 spots left open.
Right.
So that means Dallas is going to be competing with Memphis.
Right.
Denver. Let's see. Memphis, Denver.
Houston.
Right. And I think New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so you got those 4 teams that are going to be competing for those 2 spots.
Yeah, and if anything, I like the Pelicans and Dallas making the playoffs.
So then there you go, though. So look, if we're talking about Dallas being one of the last teams to get into the playoffs,
right?
Last season they were the 8th seed.
Right.
So did they really take a step forward? Like I said last week, I think they just flatlined.
Right.
I think again they're going to be like the 7, 8th seed in the West. I don't think they got any better, and I don't think they got that much worse.
Right.
So I just think I think they didn't make look. Chandler Parsons is a big signing, but that's not a superstar signing.
No, it's
Somebody
a star.
That's gonna take it to the next level.
You got a potential all-star signing. Okay, it's not like he's not. He could.
No, I didn't say that, but if you wanna move up in the Western Conference, you need to do more than just bringing Chandler Parsons.
Well, you bring back Tyson Chandler. Now they have a center. Who was their center last season? Samuel Dallenberg.
Okay.
And they got a guy who they like above Samuel Dallenberg. Maybe they're equal in a sense of what we've seen from Dallenberg in the preseason with the Knicks to what Tyson Chandler did for them. Who knows?
Okay.
But he did very well with Dirk. So you got Tyson Chandler, you got Dirk. You bring in Jameer Nelson, who's a solid pickup for them. A solid pickup at point guard. Devin Harris is healthy, so he'll be with them more of the season. He missed a couple weeks last year for them. They signed him the second his injury, the second he got back and he was healthy. What Raymond Felton's going to show up? Will he even be on the team if they get J.J. Barea? I mean, they signed Al-Farouq Aminu. Is he going to contribute like huge numbers or anything? No, but he's a solid player off the bench. I like the moves they made. I think they definitely did get better than what they were before. I don't, is it so much? No, but look, they almost shocked the San Antonio Spurs, who won the championship. So I don't think this is a team you could count out if they make the playoffs. It wouldn't surprise me if they advance to the second round. Okay?
But they lost. Let's not forget though, they lost Calderon.
They lost in Game 7.
Right?
They did, but the Heat lost in 5.
Well, wait, they lost Calderon.
They lost Calderon.
They lost Vince Carter.
Right.
And they lost Sean Marion.
Right.
Those are 3 guys that played big roles. I mean, you're talking about starters and first guys off the bench. I mean, Vince Carter came, what was he, the 6th man? And I think Sean Marion was the starter last season. So you had 3 guys that played major minutes leave. And you replaced them with, you replaced Calderon with Nelson. Is there any fall off? I think maybe it's sort of the same, right?
Right.
Okay, so and then you replace Sean Marion with Chandler Parsons, which is a plus because obviously Parsons has his age and he's much younger.
Right.
And you lose Vince Carter and you bring in Al Farouk Aminu.
Right.
So there's definitely a big drop off, and there's also some gains, and that's why I think they just didn't do enough to get better.
Right. Well, it's one of those things. Time will tell. I like how hard they played against the Spurs, and if Rick Carlisle's also a great coach, hopefully he can get these guys as amped up as he did to play the Spurs throughout the regular season. But I'd like to think Tyson Chandler and Chandler Parsons adding to that starting lineup with, I guess, Jameer Nelson at the moment being the starter. I like to think that's a solid team to put out on the floor. And, remember, Monte Ellis is still there. You can't forget how good Monte Ellis was.
They have a good team. Look, they have a good team. It's just, obviously, the Western Conference is much, much too crowded for them.
It is.
And in order to move up in the West, you just didn't do enough.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
In the East, a top 4 team. In the Eastern Conference, they'd probably be a top 4 or 5 team, for sure.
Right.
But you're in the West.
Different out West. It's always been different out West. All right. And they're going up against the San Antonio Spurs. Kawhi Leonard's at contract stalls right now, right? He hit a little bump in the road.
Yeah, he wants a max deal, and I don't think the Spurs are going to offer it to him before the October. If you haven't signed for I think it's the 2011 rookie class, if you haven't signed your extension by October 31st, which is Friday, then you become a restricted free agent. So I would assume that they're going to allow Kawhi Leonard to become a restricted free agent.
Engage the market.
Let the market dictate how much he's going to make, and then match it. If he's offered a max deal, then I'm sure they will match it. But I think they're kind of hoping that he doesn't get any max offers from around the league. Which the only way he won't is if he has a complete disastrous season this year because he just won the MVP in the finals. So his stock could not be higher right now.
Well, if anything, he put a lot of pressure on himself for it, too. So
he could put a lot of pressure on himself, but when you play in San Antonio, I feel like that pressure kind of goes away because you have so many other guys that will not only make the game easier for you, but take the pressure off of you.
Right.
And he's not looked at still, I think, as this is Kawhi Leonard's team.
Right.
So he doesn't even have that pressure. Usually, like a guy who's going to get a max deal, he's the superstar, right? I mean, only superstars get max deals.
And you know what?
But in San Antonio, he doesn't have to put up superstar numbers.
And you know what? Kyle? As much as I love Kawhi Leonard, and I love, I like Popovich, I like the Spurs. They obviously still got Timmy. They got Manu Ginobili. They got Tony Parker. The thought of Kawhi Leonard being the guy, as good as he is, I can't picture him being the guy, even if on his own team. Pretend Tim Duncan retires, pretend Manu Ginobili retires, even if his numbers are amazing. I can't see him being a face of a franchise. I don't know why. His style, his type of play, it does not single out to me superstar. Even though he could be very good.
Yeah, and I think that's why the Spurs are kind of like not giving him a max deal right now because they probably have the same look. He averaged 12 points per game last season. That's not a max deal guy, right?
No.
He's averaging 10 points for his career.
Right.
That's not a max guy.
Right.
So I think the Spurs are looking at it from your point of view and saying, well, wait a minute. LeBron James averages, 22, 8, and 8, so he gets a max deal. And Melo averages 27, and he gets a max deal. And then we got a guy averaging 12 and 6, and he wants a max deal.
I think part of it, though, is the system. It's a very team-oriented system, and they're not a flashy
got
team.
Tim Duncan and Parker on the team.
Right, and they're not a flashy team. We talk about that all the time, about how, the Spurs can win 20 straight, but they got no highlights, so no one cares. There's no highlight dunks. They got, 4 alley-oops in the last 10 seasons or whatever. I mean, there's not a lot of excitement with that team. They just win. They know how to win. And when you look at all the other stars and all-stars around the league, there's some sort of flashiness to them that makes them more appealing to the eye, that makes them, you're going to throw money at guys like that. And I don't think Kawhi Leonard is nearly as flashy as the other superstars in the league that have that kind of dough. So I don't see him until he gets on a different team or a different system and can show off more of his individual skills. His stats, I think no matter how good they are, will never point to him being the face of a franchise like that.
Here's an interesting thing also, is that while the Spurs are probably expected to match, if he does become a restricted free agent and the Spurs are going to match, the Spurs next season could pass on re-signing Kawhi Leonard altogether and begin a rebuild process because Tim Duncan may retire next season. Manu Ginobili may retire after this season. And you're talking about two of the core players. So if you don't have Duncan and you don't have Ginobili, they can say one of two things. All right, we need a face to play alongside Tony Parker. We need this guy to stay competitive in the West. Or we're not going to sacrifice our future and give this guy who's averaging 12 points a game last season a max deal just because we don't have anybody. Right. It's probably better to just rebuild all over again. So that's what they're going to be faced with. Do we give Kawhi Leonard maybe more than he's worth? Or do we let him go and rebuild because Duncan and Ginobili are gone?
Right. Right.
If Duncan and Ginobili end up playing another season, then maybe they resign him to keep that together because then maybe you can get another championship out of it.
I mean, look, Popovich loves Kawhi Leonard. He's made it clear that this is the guy going forward that could be unreal once Duncan is done, once Ginobili's done. Parker will probably still be with the Spurs. Can you really see Tony Parker leaving, especially if Popovich still decides to coach? I don't. I don't think he's going to leave. So Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard, maybe the two of them form like a nice little duo. They add pieces around them, but the system is going to be the same. And he's never going to be a flashy player. You know, he may have some nice dunks here and there, but not enough to make you go, oh, like I want to go watch this guy play. You know what I mean?
I don't think you have to be a flashy player, though, to demand a lot of money in the league. Like Joakim Noah, almost won MVP. He's like the unflashiest player that you could probably find.
Yeah, but like when Andre Iguodala was with the Sixers, I saw him as more of a franchise player than I see Kawhi Leonard with the Spurs. And maybe it's because of the individual play. I don't mean now. I'm saying, when Iverson left and it was really Andre Iguodala's team, he to me looked more like a franchise player than Kawhi Leonard. And even though numbers,
he was a franchise player for Philly, and that didn't work out.
But no, it didn't. But still, I still looked as him at the time. I looked at him as a franchise player. I wouldn't, no matter what, I wouldn't look at Kawhi Leonard as that guy ever. I don't care how great his numbers were. He doesn't. I need more out of him, like on the showboating end. It's like Wilson Chandler being a star player.
Showboating end.
Yeah, it's like
but not because he's not a showboat. He can't be a franchise player.
I just think that you got to be a little more flashy. I feel like all the stars in the league, they have some sort of flashiness to them. I don't see any.
Joakim Noah doesn't have any.
Yeah. No. Look, it's not that Joakim Noah. I agree, he doesn't really have it. But Derrick Rose, the face of that franchise. That's Derrick Rose's team.
Yeah, but Joakim Noah almost won the MVP.
Look,
so last season he was the face of the franchise.
Last season he was the guy in Chicago. Yeah, I get that, but I don't know. You had a big guy passing, doing. Noah was flashy with certain things for a big guy. There's a lot of things that you wouldn't expect him to do that he was able to do.
I don't know. A guy who shoots a two-handed jump shot to me can never be seen as a flashy player.
The type of athleticism that Kawhi Leonard possesses, I feel like he should just be a little more flat. That's like if Wilson Chandler was the face of a franchise when he was like putting up numbers. Like he did.
But another thing, people always saying Paul George's game is so boring. He's not a flashy player. Paul George is by far not a flashy player.
I don't know. I disagree with that.
He's like a blue collar type of superstar.
Didn't he like 360 dunk in an actual game? I mean, like I don't know about that. I don't know.
When have you ever seen him do anything? He's not flashy, Paul George.
I'm pretty sure a 360 dunk is flashy.
So, because he has one 360 dunk in his arsenal,
he does
that makes
more
him a
than
flashy
that.
player.
No. Paul George is a franchise. He is a flashy. But how do you not say Paul George is a flashy player? Wasn't he in the dunk contest?
He's not a flashy player.
He's a flashy player. All right. I don't want to have a debate with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard here. But all I'm saying is, I can't picture him being the face of a franchise, and like you said, maybe that's why the Spurs are just like waiting to see what they're gonna give him on the open market.
Is Al Jefferson a flashy player? And he was the the reason that they made the playoffs last season. You talk about Charlotte making the playoffs.
Yeah, but he's. I mean, Al Jefferson. He's a face. He's still a face. I like Jefferson's game. I like his style. He's got like that old school big man style.
Yeah, I don't know. If you went up to even like a casual NBA fan and showed them a picture of his face and said, "Who is this?" I doubt that they'd be like, "Al Jefferson, I know that guy. He's the center for Charlotte."
Going to Charlotte, I'm asking that question.
You can. You can still do that. I'm pretty sure that
Charlotte
people
looks
won't
good,
know
man. Charlotte, I like Charlotte this season. I like the Lance Stevenson pickup for them. Okay, I like that team right now.
I do too.
I like Charlotte. I like Charlotte in the East. Maybe not in the
West.
West.
I think they'll make the playoffs. One, because the East sucks, and two,
Listen,
they didn't take any steps back.
there.
They took a big step forward with Lance Stevenson.
I think the Knicks are gonna win a championship.
That's not happening. That team is just all over the place. You got all guys that don't fit into this new system. You can tell already. Bargnani is hurt. He can't even play, but he's in the last year of his deal. Somebody said, I think it was Derek Fisher or Phil Jackson, that said Amari Stoudemire is
Did you just call him Bargnani?
What?
Bargnani?
Yeah.
No, that's what Clyde Frazier calls him on TV. It's Bargnani, not Bargnani.
Does it matter?
I know. I honestly like it's just funny when Frazier always says it wrong. I just think it's funny. The guy's never really done anything for the Knicks.
The guy's not gonna get on the court anyway, so we don't have to say his name anyway. He's hurt again.
He is gonna get on the court. I don't know if that's a good thing for the Knicks, but he is probably going to get on the court in the next couple of weeks. Phil Jackson keeps saying that he'd just flourish in this system. So
yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And
I tell you what, though.
Players, I think, for this system.
I'll tell you what I like about Phil Jackson. I like that he traded Travis Outlaw to pick up this rookie Travis Ware because that guy has potential. You also
said last week that Travis Outlaw was going to be a huge player for the Knicks this season.
Well, he might have been. He might have been, but
a huge Travis Outlaw. You were like, oh, I can't believe they got him. It's so good. But they don't even have him anymore.
The guy I was really hyped up was Quincy Acey. I liked him from the start. That's what the trade was made for. You know that the Knicks are talking about Outlaw in the media day. You know, Melo kept bringing up that Travis Outlaw's a good veteran. Blah blah blah. I mean, I base it off what the players thought about it. But I'm saying Quincy Acey, this guy's like a young Kenyon Martin, man. This is a young Kenyon Martin. That's what he is. Young Kenyon Martin.
Did you saw him throw down one dunk?
No, because he gets rebounds. He hustles. He's energy. Gets a lot of offensive boards. He gets the offense to scramble a little bit. I like his defense. I like his intensity.
Can I say something?
I don't know if you should say something.
You said Quincy Acey is a young Kenyon Martin.
Yes.
A young Kenyon Martin averaged 16.7 points and 9.5 rebounds.
All right, Quincy Acey had 10
He
rebounds.
won't even come anywhere near that. He won't even come arm's reach to that.
I think
you're talking about an all-star. Kenyon Martin is an all-star.
Yeah, but Quincy Acey never played.
Is a guy that should not play more than 10 minutes a game.
Right. How many minutes did Kenyon Martin play as a rookie?
33 minutes.
Okay, what did Quincy Acey play?
But there's a reason why Kenyon Martin.
No. What did Quincy Acey play?
I don't know. I don't have those numbers.
He played 12 minutes a game. I can tell you that. Okay? If he plays 32, 33 minutes a game, production is going to go up. Okay? Minutes is
the Kenyon Martin numbers?
Quincy Acey had 10 rebounds last game. You realize that, right?
Oh, I can never do the show with you. If you tell me that if Quincy Acey has 33 minutes, he's going to put up Kenyon Martin numbers, I have to log off. I can't do the show.
I think you're crazy not to think that production means nothing. That you don't think that a guy playing 33 minutes is going to be more productive than a guy playing 12. The guy never got a shot.
But I'm saying to you, if he plays 33 minutes,
right,
he's going to put up Kenyon Martin numbers?
This guy's going to be okay. First of all, if you're taking everything I say so literal to the point. He's a young Kenyon Martin. It doesn't mean that he's exactly Kenyon Martin, that he's going to put up exactly 16 points a game? What if he puts up 12 and 10?
That's what it means.
What if he puts up
You
12
can
and
say
10?
he has Kenyon Martin. He plays like a young Kenyon Martin.
Okay.
That's not tough to
If
word those
Quincy
things.
Acey this season puts up 12 and 10, he's a young Kenyon Martin. Okay, that's the same style of play, the same energy. He's productive. He's getting 10 rebounds a game. Why don't you wait till the season and see what happens? I'm telling you.
But he plays like Kenyon Martin, and he is Kenyon Martin is two different things.
Well, he never got a shot because 12 minutes a game is not what Kenyon Martin played his rookie season.
There's a reason why they only give him 12 minutes. Kenyon Martin, a young Kenyon Martin, was the first overall pick in an NBA draft.
Right.
So he cannot,
give him a
even
shot,
if he played
and that's what I'm
50 minutes
saying.
a game,
Right,
he still wouldn't put up Kenyon Martin numbers.
But that's what I'm
it's
saying.
Not gonna happen. There's a reason why Quincy Acey
You're-
is only playing
you're
12
going-
minutes. If he was so good,
It doesn't
he
matter.
would
You
get
can
starter
look.
numbers.
You're going berserk over this. That's fine. But I'm telling you, this guy's gonna. This is his first season where he's actually going to play. He's actually going to play. To me, this is his rookie season.
Okay. You do realize in Sacramento, he averaged 14 minutes a game.
Right. So I said 12, 14. All right.
He averaged 14 minutes a game and put up 2 points and 3 rebounds.
Right.
In 14
Behind
minutes.
who, though? Watch him this season on the Knicks. Watch him with the team they have. Watch him on the Knicks. Okay?
Okay.
With a point guard, with Carmelo Anthony.
14 minutes.
This guy is their defense this season next to Dallenberg. He is their defense. You said it
Okay.
yourself. The Knicks have no defense, right?
Okay.
Okay, one guy is their defense this season. I'm telling you, he's going to have a great season, man. He's going to have a great season.
One guy is their defense. You do realize that Phil Jackson went on record and said Iman Shumpert is our best defender?
That's fine. That's a lot of confidence, too. He also said Bargnani's going to flourish in the triangle. You tend to disagree with that also.
Well, there's a difference between backing up a player on your roster because he can't come out and say Andrea Bargnani sucks.
Okay.
What are we going to do? We're stuck with him for a season.
Right.
Of course he's not going to say that.
Okay.
But he can say who is the best in a certain area
Okay.
by speaking the truth. So if he's saying Shumpert is the best defender, then guess what? Shumpert is their best defender.
All right.
He's not going to come out and say, oh, Bargnani sucks. You're right. We messed up, and we have to deal with him for another year. Of course he's not going to say that.
No, but you're looking at Shumpert as a guard. Quincy Acey's not a guard. Shumpert's not
But he's
guarding the
not-
big
he's the
guys.
best defender.
Shumpert's not going up against the big guys in the league. He's going up against guards.
But what does that have to do with anything?
I'm saying Quincy Acey could be just as good a defender as Shumpert. Let's see what happens this season. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
I will be surprised if Quincy Acey even lasts the entire season with the
Wow.
Knicks. He's either going to be cut or included in
Listen,
a trade.
I
He won't,
like
mark
proving
my
you
words,
wrong, man.
He will not finish the season as a
I
Knick.
like proving you wrong. I'm fine with doing it again.
All right, do it again. Here we go. And I don't want to hear when he puts in another 12 minutes a game this season.
listen.
I don't want to hear that, oh, he's only playing 12 minutes, and that's why he's got 2 points per game.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
I don't think
You
he's-
said he's going to be Kenyon Martin. Now let's see if he's going to be Kenyon Martin.
We will see. That's my bold statement right there. That's my bold
Okay.
statement. Okay. By the way, last season, what did Kenyon Martin give the Knicks last season? When he was healthy, because he was injured a lot. But when he was healthy, he's a very productive guy for them. He wasn't 16 and 10. He was very productive for them though.
4-4?
4-4. But he was a difference maker on the floor, correct? He was an energy guy.
No.
No. Okay.
Not at 36
All right.
years old, he was not, no.
Okay. I disagree. I think you're crazy, especially when we had the whole debate about how Kenyon Martin was a better player than Chris Anderson and this whole thing. But 4-4 doesn't show that, my friend. So honestly, that makes no sense to me what you're saying.
Yeah, that debate happened in 2012, 2013, and we're talking about 2013, 2014.
Okay, either way. Wait,
No,
when
because in
he's healthy,
2012, 13, he averaged 7 and 5.
there's an energy level that Kenyon Martin brought to the floor. Look, the Rockets are already putting this guy possibly on the roster. Okay, Rockets are looking at putting him on the roster.
He's
As
not
old
on
as
any
he is,
roster.
they think he can still have an impact if that happens. So Look, I'm just saying Quincy Acey's going to bring that same kind of intensity. And this season, especially because of how young he is, when he plays more than 20 minutes a game, you're going to see a lot more production from this guy. And he's motivated, man. Derek Fisher loves him. So I'm saying that's a bright spot for the Knicks. And Travis Ware, that getting back to what we started with this, that was, I think, a smart move by Phil Jackson to pick up Travis Ware and give him a spot on the roster.
Who is Travis Ware that you think is a smart move?
Did you watch him in the preseason? He looked very good.
Oh, okay.
He looked very good. Young talent, rookie. Look, what I mean by the trade is you knew what you were going to get with Outlaw. He wasn't going to make or break the season for you. But Travis Ware, he's a potential rookie here. He's a guy that has potential.
He's a guy who can make or break the Knicks?
Travis Ware?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying Travis Outlaw wasn't a guy who could make or break the Knicks, but this guy has potential for the future. So get him on the roster, get him some playing time, develop this guy. Because you don't know where his peak's going to be. You know where Travis Outlaw's peak is. That's why I like the move. You're not following me on this?
I am following you on this.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're following me on something tonight. Good. All right. The other game tonight is Lakers-Rockets.
Right. You don't like the Rockets.
I don't like the Rockets.
You don't like their depth, and I can agree with that. I like the Rockets to make the playoffs, but that's about it. And the Lakers are just awful. So, yeah, it's probably going to be Houston over the Lakers. And, look, the Lakers have a lot of problems. Kobe Bryant, what is his health going to be like for the season? How many minutes he's going to play? Those are two big question marks. They obviously did not get any better. They lost Pau Gasol and replaced him with Boozer. If anything, I think that's a downgrade. Yeah, you get Kobe back, but I don't know. I think that's going to stunt Nick Young because Nick Young, he's very flashy. He takes a lot of shots. He does a lot of crazy stuff. I think with Kobe Bryant there on the floor, he's going to be like screaming at Nick Young whenever Nick Young doesn't do anything, and I think that's going to make Nick Young less of the player that he was last season. Right. Jeremy Lin is your starter. He's not a great point guard. He's not the worst point guard. So, I don't know. You lose Steve Nash for the year. They're not going to be very good. They're going to be they'll be a lottery team again.
All right. Well, I agree. I agree with you on both. I do think the Rockets will take it, but I do think Kobe Bryant is a little pissed about where his ranking was with that, with ESPN, the story that came out about him that no one wants to play with him. I think he himself, if he stays healthy, is going to have a chip on his shoulder just to kind of prove some guys wrong and certain things that were said. I'm sure he wants to shut everybody up. So I like Kobe this season. I don't know if the Lakers are going to win, but I think he's going to have a solid season. I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong, and he has that mentality, man. I mean, he's the Black Mamba.
Yeah, but who cares if he proves people wrong? It's not going to get him to the playoffs, right? I mean, the ultimate goal is to win a championship. So who cares if Kobe Bryant was ranked 40 and ends up surpassing, what ESPN. First of all, who the hell cares, what ESPN thinks?
Right.
ESPN, their only job is to show us highlights. I don't need them to rank basketball players. Anybody who listens to that is absurd. All they should be doing is cutting tape. Here's what happened. Here's who won the game. Look at this dunk. Here's the top 10 plays of the night that we think. If I don't care, I'm more than sure that Kobe Bryant is like, who the hell cares what the guys at ESPN think?
Right.
It doesn't matter. If players in the league were voting, it'd be a different story because they have first-hand accounts and they see these guys on a daily basis.
Right. Now, wait. The Lakers home tonight?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I got to check that out. I'll check that out. But,
the Lakers are at home.
They are at home. Okay.
Yeah.
So, with the Lakers being at home, Dwight Howard's in the building. You got to think all the stuff that's recently come out in the last couple days about Dwight Howard not wanting to play with Kobe. He was afraid of Kobe. Dwight Howard now saying he wasn't afraid of
they
Kobe.
didn't see the report. No. He said he's not afraid of playing with Kobe.
Right.
He was not afraid of playing with Kobe.
Right, but I'm saying that's what was thrown at him, that he was afraid, and he's saying that he wasn't afraid. So, with all that going on, and obviously him and Kobe don't have the best relationship to begin with, don't you think Kobe's got he's going to, especially now he's healthy. Kobe's actually going to play against Dwight Howard. Don't you think he's going to go?
I don't think Kobe cares.
Really?
I really don't. I think he wants to win, obviously. I think he definitely wants to win. But in terms of beating them because they have Dwight Howard, I think he just wants to win.
Would you be shocked if Kobe threw a dunk on Dwight Howard tonight?
I'd be shocked if I see Kobe throw a dunk, yeah.
Saw a couple of dunks of him in practice on some guys. I saw him dunking in practice. Got some videos.
Yeah, well, I want to see it. I want to see 30. How old is Kobe? 37?
37.
Okay, I want to see 37-year-old Kobe Bryant after an Achilles injury and an ankle injury. I want to see him throw a dunk down just period in a game. Forget about if it's on Dwight Howard or not.
You might. Look, opening night, Lakers are home. I think Kobe's going to come out with a lot of energy tonight, first game of the season. He said before the guys, they have something for themselves to fight for now. Look, are they going to make the playoffs? No. Are they going to be like a great team? No. But the motivation's there. Kobe's there. Look, I think it's going to be a good game tonight. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. But, yeah, I think the Rockets are ultimately going to win. But I think Kobe's going to look good tonight. I do. I think Kobe's going to have a good first game of the season.
Well, I like to see Kobe Bryant play well. It's good for the sport. It's entertaining. So, he's not going against my team, the Knicks. So, of course, it'd be nice if Kobe Bryant has a good game. It's a good story. Kobe Bryant's first preseason game was a big news story. He shot an air ball on his first, attempt. Everybody was paying attention to Kobe. But I know we're about to wrap up the show in a little bit.
Yes.
Two things. Yeah. One, just came down a little while ago. The Hornets and Kemba Walker have agreed to a 4-year, $48 million contract extension.
Bam.
I think that's a great deal for Charlotte. $12 million a year for Kemba Walker. So that's done. He's locked up for another 4 years. And here's a quote that just came down a little while ago also about Tony Parker, because we were talking about the Spurs and if they'll retire, Duncan and Ginobili. Listen to this quote from Tony Parker. For me, the thing that scares me is one day I'm going to have to play and all three of you guys will be gone. He's talking about Duncan, Ginobili, and Popovich.
Right.
This is a guy who's played with these guys like his whole career. And the thing that scares him is, at some point he'll probably still be playing, and he won't be playing with his two running mates. And Popovich could be retired, or Tony Parker could be playing for another team. It's crazy to think, if this was New York, if the Spurs team was the New York Knicks and Popovich coached them, the Spurs would be considered one of the greatest dynasties of all time, and they would have international fan base. But because they play in San Antonio, I feel like nobody pays attention to them ever. I mean, every year, nobody picks them to win the championship. They win the championship, it just seems like nobody cares. Imagine if they did that in New York. It'd be like the biggest thing ever. They'd be like the Yankees. The Knicks would be the Yankees. But they play in San Antonio.
Yeah, no.
To me, it's an interesting quote.
No, it is.
To see Parker talk about that, but I just don't think the world will play. If Jeter were to say that 5 years ago about Jorge Posada, Andy Pettitte, and Joe Torre, if Joe Torre was still there, that'd be a huge quote. And, this is just kind of like whatever.
Yeah. No, it's interesting, and I agree with you. I think the market plays a big role into it. Like you said, if they were in the New York market, even if they were in Boston, even if they were, the Celtics, I think a lot of people would be more buzzed about it. But like you said, no one cares about
Nobody ever, like this season, who's really saying that the Spurs are the championship team? Everybody, again, is talking about the Cavaliers. It's like follow LeBron James, wherever he goes, they're the championship team.
I've been saying it all along, though. Like, I think the Spurs are the team to beat still, again, if they're healthy. That's just me.
Yeah, you're not the majority, you're the minority.
You're right, but I'm one of those people that are saying that, just remember, I'm on the Spurs side at winning.
So you're picking the Spurs to win the championship this year?
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm picking them tonight to beat Dallas.
What? You think they're going to win a championship, but they're not going to win opening night in their building?
I don't know
yet. Against the team that we both said are like the 7-8 seed in the West?
I'm just saying. So, look, I do think the Spurs are going to win a championship again. I just don't know if they're going to win tonight. That's all.
Well, it's a fair point because Kawhi Leonard is not going to play. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
He's not. He has that eye thing going on. He's been cleared, but he's not going to play tonight.
I want to say one more thing about Kobe Bryant before we wrap up the show. Just one more thing. All right, one more thing. I would like to see Kobe wear the number 8 his last season that he decides to play in the NBA. I think it would be awesome to bring back the vintage 8 and see Kobe rocking it. I think it'd be really cool. that's all I wanted to say. And I think if it was possible to start a petition somehow to get him to bring back his old number, I think it'd be awesome. Seriously. I think it'd be really cool. I have my vintage number 8 Kobe jersey. That's when I think of his best moments, some of the greatest games that I've watched, he was in that number 8, and I think it'd be really cool to see him wear it one last time before he calls it a career.
Yeah, that'd be nice, like a little night for, throwback night for the Lakers, and he has his old number on, sure.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. Or if he just does it for the whole season, I think it'd be cool.
That would be changing your number.
Yeah, he'd have to change it back, but for his last season, I think it'd be cool if that happened. All right, we're going to start wrapping up the show. Where's my music?
Dun, 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 dun.
There we go. Wait, was that were you really doing the music, or you just? I don't know what that was. All right. Talkin Hoopz, talkinhoopz.com. Good luck tonight, Dallas, San Antonio, Lakers, Rockets, Pelicans, Magic. Good luck to everybody. Opening night, NBA is back in session. Strix, I'm sure you're doing something with the Miami Heat right now, so have fun with that. He was at some fashion show or something. I saw Norris Cole there.
Wait, can I say something?
Go ahead.
When did Strick become all of a sudden he's not a Heat fan anymore and he's a Laker fan?
Yeah, I don't know what that was either.
When did that happen? He was talking last week like he's a Laker fan. Like
play
he's
for the
always been that
Lakers.
way.
I don't know. MBRPA Miami, MBRPAMiami.com. Until next time, catch you on the rebound.
Until Talkin Hoopz comes back into play, stay connected by getting at us on iTunes. Keep up to date with all the latest basketball news and rumors, and check out all our shows by logging on to talkinghoops.com.
Catch you on the rebound.